Hello and welcome back to the AA NBA podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Hammond.
And I'm Aditya.
And we don't have a whole lot of news this week, but there are a couple big stories. And first, we're going to start off with our power rankings. So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You can take the lead on this one.
All right. So at number 5, I have got the Milwaukee Bucks making their way back into the power ranking. The Bucks are 8-2 over their last 10. They're third in the East right now. They're a half game back from the Nets for the 2 seed. And I decided to put them in over the Nets because the Nets are 5-5 in their last 10. They lost 4 in a row this week. They have been bad for a good part of the season, or a good part of the last week. So the Bucks are only a half game behind them. So I decided that I had to make an executive decision. The Nets are below, expectations where I would think they should be at this point in the season. They finally got a win yesterday against the Nuggets, but that's still 1-3 this week. So I in good conscience, I could not put them on when the Bucks are playing this well over the last 10 games. So, yeah, number 5, I got Milwaukee. They're playing really well. They're sneaking. They might sneak into that 2 seed.
I also have the Bucks at 5 for pretty much all the same reasons that you said. I did my power rankings and that whole list yesterday, and by that point the Nets were 0-3 over the last week, and the Bucks had actually passed them for the 2 seed. So, but you pretty much covered everything. The Nets haven't been great recently.
Yeah, they have not. At number 4, I got the Clippers. The Clippers are not in the play-in tournament. They are the only Los Angeles team that is not in the play-in tournament this year. They're third in the West right now. They're 6-4 over their last 10, so not spectacular. But they're still, they would be second in the East right now. They're better than the Nets and the Bucks. And they're pretty comfortably in third. They're still a game and a half up from the Nuggets. So I had to include them, even though their last 10 hasn't been spectacular. This week they beat the Rockets. They lost to the Pelicans. Oh wait, where am I? Okay, this week they beat the Lakers. They beat the shit out of the Lakers. They beat the Raptors. They lost to the Nuggets. So 2-3, but I mean, the Lakers are not great, and the Raptors are not great. And the Nuggets are pretty good. But still, it's 2 wins, 2-1. And their overall record is a little too good for me to not have them in here.
Yeah, I also have the Clippers at 4. I have a feeling our lists are going to be the same.
I do too.
But yeah, you pretty much covered everything. They didn't play as many games as some of these other teams this week, and they went 2-1. But they're still record-wise one of the best teams in the league, obviously. And I don't think they're going to catch up to either the Jazz or the Suns. I don't even think there's enough games for them to. I mean, maybe they could. I guess technically if the Suns and Jazz lost
they're
every
three
game.
It's really unlikely. They're 3 games back from the Suns and 4.5 games back from the Jazz.
So the other teams would have to lose every game, then the Clippers would have to win every game, but that's not going to happen.
Oh.
So, but yeah, Clippers at 4.
All right, at number 3, I've got the Philadelphia 76ers, the first seed in the Eastern Conference. Very comfortably in first. They're 3 games up on the Nets, 3.5 games up on the Bucks. They would still be third in the West, so I can't they're definitely not better than the Suns or the Jazz, but they're still 8-2 over the last 10. They're the first seed in the East. This week they beat the Pistons. They beat the Pelicans in a very tight game. They beat a very bad Rockets team by a lot of points, and they beat the Bulls. So, a lot of games. Oh, and they beat the Spurs. So 5-0 over the last week, very impressive, but beating pretty bad teams. And they're still record-wise overall, they're still not on that. They're still not quite there with the Suns and the Jazz. They've got 3 more losses and 1 less win, so can't really put them above either of those teams.
Yeah, I also have the Sixers at 3. Yeah, our lists are. I'm pretty sure they're going to be the exact same for the next 2. Also,
I agree.
But yeah, I think. I mean, for the most part, our lists are going to stay the same because of what there's like one.
Yeah,
more
I mean
week
we've only
left
got
in the
next
regular
week.
season.
Yeah.
Like,
when is the plan?
Well, I mean, I would imagine it's once all of the every team's played their regular season games, right? Which I can't imagine would take more than next week.
Okay. No team has more than like 4 games left. They start May 22nd, so 13 days. But is the play-in tournament? Oh no, the play-in is May 18th. The playoffs start May 22nd, so we've got 9 days until the play-in.
Yeah. So last week will be the last week of, or next week will be the last week of like full regular season content.
Yes. Are you gonna want to do power rankings in the playoffs?
No, because by that point it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't think so.
But yeah, I also have the
Yes.
Sixers. You pretty much covered everything. Embiid's playing well, like he has been all season. But there's not much else to say.
Yeah, he's been really good. My number 2 is Phoenix. Phoenix jumped up. I can't remember if they were my number 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Last week, I think.
Yeah, they were my number 1 last week. But since then, the Jazz have gotten a pretty comfortable lead on them. They're both 7-3 in their last 10. The Jazz are a game and a half up on them. And the Jazz beat the Rockets this week. They had a good win against the Nuggets, who are playing well. They beat the Spurs twice, back-to-back games. And the Spurs are another like borderline playoff team. So, and they're a game and a half up on the Suns, and they're the first team to hit 50 wins this year, which is very impressive in a shortened year. So, yeah, I had to put the Jazz over the Suns, but the Suns are still very good. They're another team that's 7-3 over their last 10. They've got 5 games left. They beat a very good Knicks team by 23 points on Friday, but they also lost by 30 to the Hawks on Wednesday, which is kind of pathetic. And, Booker played, so there's not really an excuse there. So, yeah, I got the Suns at 2.
I also have the Suns at number 2. I think, honestly, like, the Suns and Jazz could theoretically switch on my power rankings on a game-by-game basis. Like, they're super close to each other. And, yeah, I mean, they had a pretty good week, but they didn't exactly play any good. I mean, the Knicks are a good team, I guess, and they lost to the Hawks, but, like, the Thunder and Cavs I wouldn't consider as, like, super impressive wins. But, no, they've been playing really well. Booker's obviously been playing really well. And yeah, I think they've been surprising a lot of people this season.
Yeah, these were, if you ask me what seed the Suns and Jazz would be fighting for, I'd be like, I don't know, like the 5th seed or the 6th seed. Like, I didn't even think the Suns were going to be good this year. And I thought the Jazz would be like the 6th seed, like they always are. And, now they're fighting for the 1 seed, which is crazy to say.
Yeah.
And then number 1,
the Jazz.
Do you have anything else?
No.
All right, yeah, I got the Jazz. The Jazz still pretty comfortable lead on the Suns, 1.5 games. 7-3.
Dominance.
Yes, continued dominance. First team to hit 50 wins this year. They went 4-0 this week, 5-0 if you count Saturday, which I think we recorded Saturday, so I'm going to count that. Yeah, just really, really impressive stretch from the Jazz here. I think last week they were like 5-5, and over their last 10, and now they're back up to 7-3. So, really impressive stretch from the Jazz. First team to hit 50 wins. Yeah.
Yep. I also have the Jazz at number 1. Pretty much covered everything. That was really uneventful. Both of our lists were the exact same.
Yeah, I would assume that they'll probably be the same next week, unless... Do you want to use that to segue? If the Trailblazers save that guy's house, they might have to be in my top 5.
Yeah, so anyone that doesn't know, there's a guy that tweeted out, like, to Damian Lillard, he said he bet his house that the Blazers would get 42 wins, and Dame was like, I got you, and then they lost, like, 6 straight. So now they got to win 3 out of their next 4 to reach 42 wins so that guy can keep his house. And those 4 games are against the Rockets, Jazz, Suns, and Mavericks. So, like, the Rockets will be an
I'd
easy
say
win.
they're a healthy scratch.
Yeah, the Rockets will be an easy win, but then they'll still need to win 2 out of the Jazz, Suns, and Nuggets.
Yeah, like literally 3 of the best 4 teams in the West right now.
Bro, could you imagine if it was like they lose to the Jazz, they beat the Suns, and they beat the Rockets, and it's like they need 1 win to reach 40. They're 41 wins. They go in against the Nuggets, and it's tied with like 10 seconds left. And then Damian Lillard misses the buzzer beater, and that guy loses his house.
That would be the worst possible way for Dame time to like end.
Yeah, that'd be. Dame would have to buy. I think Dame would have to buy him a house.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
But yeah, good luck to that guy because that's a very risky.
I'm really
bet.
hoping he's joking. Like,
Yeah.
he said that he bet his mortgage, so I'm hoping that it's like, yeah, I bet $3,000, like, because that's like a mortgage payment or something, like a mortgage payment that they would hit 42 wins. But like, God, I really hope that he didn't actually bet his house.
What if he just forgot that it was a shortened season and he's like, oh, they'll reach 42 wins out of 82 games. Yeah, that's possible. And he just forgot.
Yeah, they're 100% going to do that. They can do that and be like the 10th seed in the West.
Yeah, and like that's why he was so confident that he was willing to bet his actual mortgage.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, wait, there's 10 less games.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the Lakers?
Go for it, man.
All right, so the Lakers
Suck.
suck. They're bad. They fell into the play-in tournament. I would say that they are probably... Okay, actually, let's look at this, because the only team they could realistically catch are the Trailblazers. They're a solid 2 games back from the Mavs. The Mavs play the Cavs. That's a win. The Grizzlies, Pelicans, they'll win one of those. The Raptors and Timberwolves. They're probably going to go like 4-1, I would say, over their last 5. So I would say the Mavericks are a healthy scratch. They're pretty much locked into that 5th or 6th seed. The only team that the Lakers could realistically catch are the Trailblazers. And we went through the Trailblazers schedule. They do have a tough last 4 games. But the Lakers, who are the 7th seed right now, and granted, the Lakers are a game and a half back already from the Blazers. So the Blazers have to lose 3 out of their last 4, and the Lakers have to win 4, I would say probably 3 or 4 out of their last 5. They have to beat the Sun. They're going to beat the Rockets, and then they have to beat, I would say probably 2 of the Suns, Knicks, Pacers, and Pelicans, which I would say the Knicks are a healthy scratch for a loss. The Suns are a healthy scratch for a loss. And then the Pacers and Pelicans are kind of 50-50 because Anthony Davis is hurt. LeBron's hurt. Both of them, even if they do play, they're not going to be 100%. As LeBron noted, he will never be 100% again. Which, like, he will.
Dramatic, but
Yeah, bit dramatic. So it's really like, if the Blazers win 2 out of their last 4, the Lakers are screwed. If the Lakers lose 3 out of their last 5, they're screwed. The Lakers have to be perfect, and they have to rely on the Blazers being bad.
Sorry, I was yawning.
Oh, it's fine. Which, like, I don't know about you. I don't want to rely on... I don't want to rely on Damian Lillard to be bad in a clutch situation.
Yeah. I think we were talking about this yesterday when me and Ryan were, and it'd be pretty funny if the Lakers went into the play-in tournament and they lost to the Warriors, and the Warriors
that would be so funny.
And the Warriors took over that 7 seed, and then they like beat the Suns. It sucked because I want the Suns to like do good, but like it'd be kind of funny.
Stephen Curry just has his LeBron 2018 moment.
Yeah, like he drops like 60 a game. Because that's probably what it
Yeah.
would take, honestly, with that team.
Yeah, gosh. Yeah, they're bad.
But, Lakers, as a resident Lakers disliker, hate's a strong word, a Lakers disliker, it'd be great if they missed the playoffs. Personally,
Yeah, it would be very funny. I would
get a good
I would
chuckle
laugh
out of that
a
one.
lot, I think.
Yeah.
Because then I can just focus all of my... Because, like, if it's Lakers-Nets finals, like, I would be so sad. And then if, like, the Lakers are out, then I can just focus all my hater energy on the Nets. Even though I like Kyrie, but, like, I mean, Kevin Durant kind of outweighs him there. Sorry, Kyrie.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me because I already know what the finals matchup is going to be. So, like,
Who is
it's going to be Suns versus Knicks
it? Why would you think that?
because I'm a prophet. You're going to see, dude. We're going to be back on this podcast in like a month and a half or 2 months or whenever the finals take place. And it's going to be Suns versus Knicks. And you're going to be like...
I'll genuinely give you $25 if that's the thing.
Great, we have that on record.
Yeah, I will give you $25 if it is Suns Knicks, because it's not going to happen. The Knicks are not going to make the finals, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
So. They did it as the 8th seed in what, 99?
Yeah, in the strike season.
Yeah, and this is a shortened season too, Aiden. Anything can happen.
Yeah, but they're the 4 seed, and it's also the Knicks.
Yeah, dude. Tom Thibodeau has put in a new culture in New York, all right?
Okay, realistically, now let's look at the East playoff picture a little bit. So the first 3 seeds are set. This is how we can fill time this episode. We need to look at the playoff pictures. So the first 3 seeds are set. And then really the 4 through 7 can do an awful lot of maneuvering. I would say the 8 seed, 9 seed, 10 seed are probably set. It'll be Hornets, Wizards, Pacers, whatever order. Pacers will probably be the 10 seed.
Hopefully
Unfortunately,
they're the 10 seed.
if the Bulls could get their act together, I would really like them to do that.
They
so
beat
that
the
can leapfrog
Celtics.
The Pacers. Yeah, but they're still 3 games back from the Pacers. I don't think it's gonna happen. So, anyway, the 4 through 7 are separated by 2 total games. Knicks, Hawks, Heat, and Celtics. The Hawks are a half game back from the Knicks for the 4 seed. The Heat are a half game back from the Hawks for the 5. And the Celtics are a full game back from the Heat for the 6 seed. What do you think would be the 2 most entertaining playoff matchups? Or I guess 3, because it'll be 2-7, 3-6, 4-5.
Okay. I think, honestly, Knicks Hawks, like, I'm not even, like, trying to joke here. I feel like that would be a pretty entertaining series.
I agree.
Just because, like, the 2 teams are, I feel like, pretty evenly matched up against each other.
I 100% agree. I think that would be the best 4-5.
And then another one in the East, I think, I don't think Bucks Heat would be very entertaining.
Why?
Because we saw it last year and it wasn't entertaining. Even if it's a good series and the teams play, even if it's not as bad as it was last year, it's just not like the games won't be entertaining.
Yeah, it's not like Jimmy Butler taking Kevin Durant one-on-one. It's like, okay, well, they play zone defense on Giannis.
Yeah. I mean, if we get the good side of Boston, I feel like a Boston Nets series could be pretty entertaining.
I think I would like to see Heat Nets and then Bucks Celtics. I think those are the 2, because I want the Bucks to compete.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that they are a better team than the Heat this year. I genuinely believe that. I think that they are better. I think the Heat have kind of fallen off. And I think the Bucks would probably win that playoff series if Bud isn't an idiot, which, maybe he is.
It's a tough
but
ass.
he's coaching for his job at this point. So I think that it would be like a 7-game series, and I would like the Bucks to be not gassed going into the second round. So I think that they could beat the Celtics. I think they could handle the Celtics. And then I think Nets Heat would be awesome. I would love to see that series.
I feel like the Heat would get washed in that series.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think it would probably be like 5, but I think it would be an entertaining 5. Like, there would be one game where Jimmy just goes crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he'd go out fighting for sure, but it would be a quick series, and I don't think Maybe the one game where Jimmy goes off for like 45 points, maybe that game is close. But like I don't think they stand a chance against the Nets. They don't match up well.
Yeah, there's not really a guy for Bam to take defensively.
Yeah.
Now that you say that.
That's why I feel like Boston, Brooklyn, that honestly, like, it might be a sweep, but at least all 4 games would be high scoring and like fast paced. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
But having said, I think if Milwaukee plays against Boston, they'd probably win in 5, and that would be a quick series too. So like,
yeah.
But yeah, I think those would be good. I just want the Hornets. I just want to see LaMelo Ball in the playoffs. Honestly, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't even care.
I actually think the Hornets could take a game or two off the Sixers. I'm not high on the Sixers going into the playoffs.
I'm high on the Sixers going into the playoffs until they face like a good team, and then Doc Rivers will do what he does.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
don't forget about playoff Ben Simmons.
Playoff Ben. Well, hopefully, the scheme right now looks like he's going to be taking like 4 shots a game. So
what was that game where he scored like 1 point and had like 6 assists or something?
Yeah,
I was it against the Raptors or the Celtics?
I think it was against the. I can't imagine it was against the. Well, he didn't play against the Celtics last year.
No, but the year before that, when they got beat by the Celtics in 5.
Then yeah, it was probably then. I don't remember. I just remember that they photoshopped him over Wilt and just said 1. That was pretty fun.
That was awesome.
But yeah, I honestly, even if the Hornets got swept and it wasn't close, I feel like that's just an entertaining series. Just because you get to watch LaMelo Ball play, and Gordon Hayward maybe play if he doesn't get hurt. But like Miles Bridges, PJ Watt, I think the Hornets team is fun, and they were the 4th seed before LaMelo went down. So like
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those would be some good matchups.
Do you want to talk about Bjorkgren?
Oh yeah, the Pacers are breaking.
It's bad.
It started with Greg Foster, the assistant coach, and Goga Bitadze like getting into it on the sideline, and like players had to hold back Greg Foster because he was like getting all up in his face or whatever. And then it came out that like Goga, like not Bjorkgren, Foster's like telling Goga to get under the paint, and then Goga hit a 3 and told Foster to F off or something, and just a whole thing. And then it came out that Bjorkgren, like the players didn't like him, and he essentially came into the locker room as a rookie head coach and was like trying to be all authoritarian and stuff, which you can't really do as a rookie head coach. Pretty much doing what Jim Boylan
he was
did.
Like, apparently he's like not good to his assistants at all.
Yeah, which is strange because he was an assistant under Nurse for a few years.
Yeah, he's like just a big micromanager apparently.
Yeah,
just not a great situation for the Pacers.
Yeah,
yeah.
Which then
I don't even know what to think about it.
I think that they should dump the coaching staff. Trade everyone except for Karras and Sabonis. Lose their next few games, get a high pick, and then boom. You know?
Yeah. I don't know what to think about it. Because they're just so bad.
Yeah,
they're just so bad.
One thing I think every Pacers fan can agree on is that Bjorkgren needs to be fired, and they probably should take the rest of the coaching staff with him.
Yeah, the fact that they let Dan Burke go, I think, is one of the biggest issues.
Yeah, I mean, he's again like that. I mean, no one on that staff really has any respect from the players at this point, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a whole mess, really, over there. Speaking of messes, the Cavs are also imploding.
Oh God.
So there's a bunch of reports coming out that like the other Cavs players don't like playing with Colin Sexton because he doesn't pass them the ball, and like other teams like make fun of like whenever they're guarding something, like he's not going to pass you the ball anyway because Colin Sexton is an ISO scorer type of player. He doesn't play make much. Which Ryan brought up a pretty good point though, which he was saying like it's how he played in college. It's not like they should have.
He's a ball dominant guard. He didn't change his game.
Yeah. But yeah, so a bunch of Cavs players didn't like that, and then there's a whole situation with Kevin Love, and he was like getting angry with the Cavs office or whatever, and he had to like write that apology or something, and nothing's going well in Cleveland right now.
The Cavs have felt as a neutral bystander. I rooted for the Cavs in the finals against the Warriors, but I don't particularly care about the Cavaliers if they're not like the world's biggest underdog. And, when they don't have LeBron, they're typically the worst team in the Eastern Conference. So I don't really it's the Cavs. I don't really care.
Hey, this season they're the second worst team in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they're a game and a half up on the Pistons. But Cleveland, to me, since LeBron has left, and really that like whole 2018 season, it has felt like the world's slowest train wreck. It feels like I'm watching like an organization just completely implode. Every single piece is an issue. Every year, there's a Kevin Love trade rumor that never goes through because they can't get off of that contract because he plays half the season.
Half is generous.
Half is generous, and he's just not that great anymore. And then he'll go out and, like, have a fit on the court like he did this year. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen Kevin Love show any sort of, like, actual anger. Like, it just seems like he's kind of done.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, reports like the Sexton thing will come out and, like, he's your best player. So, like, what are you going to do? Like, are you going to cut him? Like, you can't really do anything.
He's the reason you have 15 of your 21 wins, so you don't want to get rid of him. But like,
yeah,
I also like, I don't know if this report was talking about like some of the older players or if it was talking about like Sexton or like Garland and Okoro or like I don't know. But
well, look, I mean, the Cavs have lost 9 of their last 10. They've lost, including 9 straight. They have the longest losing streak in the NBA, longer than the Thunder. The Thunder have only lost 6 straight. So it's just like it's a really bad situation in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a bad situation, but like we probably had this exact same conversation last season.
Like, yeah.
They're just a mess over there.
But I guess it brings up the point. Is Sexton a guy that the Cavs should focus on building around?
I don't think as a primary piece because I don't think you can build a team around someone like that. But he can definitely be like a good like second or third option. He just can't be your primary player because he won't pass the ball.
Yeah, I think that if the Cavaliers, it feels like the natural progression of the Cavaliers is that they want to draft well, and they have. Like, they drafted Sexton, they drafted Garland, they drafted Okoro. They're all pretty good players. But now they got to, like, make the playoffs. Like, next year they got to make the playoffs. Or at least be, like, close. Like, they got to be, like, the 9 or the 10 seed. And I'm just not confident that Colin Sexton, Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, that core of guys with no big men is going to be able to do that. I know that,
Allen.
like, yeah, they do. I know that Noah says that he wants them to draft Corey Kispert, and I think that would be a pretty solid draft. And it would get them a solid power forward. But like, I don't know if that core.
It doesn't matter who you have on your team if your primary ball handler won't distribute the ball.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's gonna be like Kemba in. Why do I want to say New Orleans? In
Charlotte.
Charlotte. I don't know. It's just
again
where it's just he's super ball dominant, and they get like if they're at their absolute best, they get like the 7th seed. I guess that's my thing.
I think if you want to keep Sexton on the team, first things first, he can't be your number one option. He just can't.
Yes.
Secondly, if you want to keep this whole core together, you have to get Garland to play make more and have him be the primary ball handler. setting up plays for everyone else. Because otherwise, if Sexton's just bringing the ball up every play, then you're in the same situation you were in this season. But I also don't know if Garland can be that type of playmaker on like a winning team. Because he also strikes me as like a scorer that doesn't pass as much as he should, sort of player.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen enough from Garland. I've seen Sexton for 3 years to know that he's probably not going to change.
Well, all the people are like, oh, well, he's their best player. Why are they so like he's their best player? No one else is going to score on that team, so like people are just reinforcing it. So why would he change?
And also, like, nobody else is scoring because Colin Sexton has the ball all the time. Yeah. What's his usage rate this year? I want to... Over or under 35%?
Under. That's a very high usage rate. He's only averaging like 23. I'm going to
say... Yes, he is. Colin Sexton... that's going to be an advanced stat.
What are we looking at?
Colin Sexton's usage rate is 29 this year. It's the highest it's ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think the problem is that they have 3 guys. Like they don't have a playmaker on that team.
No, they don't. They don't have a true passer.
Yeah, so you're not unless you get one of those. You gotta hope one of your score first players will just magically turn into one of those.
The other thing that the Cavaliers do consistently is they always draft a guard. I was surprised that they drafted Okoro this year, because he's like a little bit taller than 6'3". I think he's like 6'5", maybe. I thought, he's 6'5". He's more of a forward, but they just don't build out the lineup into the 4s and the 5s because they have a 4. They have Chetty Osman. They've got Kevin Love. they got a squad, dude.
They got Larry Nance.
They got Dylan Windler.
Realistically, this team should not be worse than the Magic or the Raptors or the Bulls, but
no, they should not. This roster with, and I don't know, like, is it a coaching issue? Like,
I don't think so. Like, I obviously don't think the coaching is top tier. Like JB Bickerstaff is, I think he's our coach still. He's not like this amazing coach that's going to take you to the finals or whatever, but he's not a bad coach by any means. I think it's personnel just doesn't work well together.
Yeah,
that's their primary issue. That, and then like half the players don't want to be there, so that doesn't help either.
Yeah, that is true.
But anyway, the Cavs not doing too hot.
Sexton's also a horrific defender. Like,
yeah,
he is bad. He's really bad. Like
people see these clips of him in like high school, essentially just squatting down and like staring at people, and are like, "Oh, look at that grit! He's such an amazing defender," but he's not. And I don't want it to sound like we're just completely bashing Sexton and we hate him or whatever. I don't mind him, but he's got a lot of flaws to his game that I don't think he's going to address. He's a really good scorer, but that's about it.
Colin Sexton is a below average. So defensive box plus minus is it's like an advanced stat for defense. He's negative 1.9. He's got a negative 1.9 on that. Let me just look up Trae Young. I was doing some research the other day because I wanted to figure out if Trae Young is like a better defender since Nate McMillan's took over. And I couldn't find anything about that. But Trae Young's defensive box plus minus is higher. It's still very low. It's a negative 1.8. It's bad. But it's higher than Colin Sexton's.
The problem with box plus minus is it takes into account the whole team. Like we've gone on record saying this before, like, advanced stats can be useful in the right context, but especially on defense, a lot of it's the eye test.
Well, like, okay, let's look at win shares. That is a little bit better for individual players. So he's got a 0.8 defensive win share, which is the highest of his career. I'm comparing him to Trae Young because I feel like Trae Young is like universally seen as the worst defensive guard in the league, and I don't think that's really fair to him. He's got a 1.1. He's got 1.1 defensive win shares, which is also higher than Sexton.
Yeah.
Obviously, the offense is completely off the charts. Trae Young is significantly better offensively.
I don't think anyone's saying that Sexton's better than Trae Young.
No, I don't think anybody is either. My point is, Colin Sexton is a worse defender, and he doesn't make up for it on offense like Trae Young does. Like, Trae Young, I can justify... I mean, I can't. Trae Young is a very bad defender. That's something he needs to work on. But I can at least say Trae Young is very valuable to his team. He's the best player on his team, and they're a good team. And I can say, okay, well, yeah, Trae's defense is bad, but he makes up for it by being such a god on offense. Colin Sexton doesn't do that. He doesn't even really get close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think I am a little bit worried about the Cavaliers going forward if they have to rely on Colin Sexton to be their absolute best player.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement. Next up, Tyrese Halliburton. I think we might have discussed this last episode. I don't know when the actual injury happened, but he got hurt. He landed or he was like running.
It was scary.
Yeah, and it looked like an Achilles injury, but it wasn't. There was no severe or no ligament damage really at all. It was just just sort of a freak accident sort of deal, and he'll be okay. But he's obviously going to miss the rest of the season and just sort of fully recover from it. But luckily,
I always hate those non-contact injuries.
Well, I mean, yeah, because it always looks like it's going to be like an Achilles or something. Yeah. Especially when it's like when they're running and they dig in their foot to like get some explosiveness, and then they just fall over, and it's like whenever I see one of those, it always just looks like an Achilles.
Yeah, it's really bad. Never something you want to see, but luckily he's good.
Yeah, he's okay. And another one, Zion's just not going to play the rest of the season with a fractured finger, which again, there's like 5 games left for them, so it doesn't really matter. I guess they're not like mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, but like there's no point.
Yeah, they're bad. They are.
They're the 11th seed.
They're 3 games back from the play-in. So yeah, they're pretty much out.
Right. But yeah, so that's pretty much all we have for news. Like Kawhi's dropping an album. I guess that's the news. Gonna hear. I really hope it's actually Kawhi rapping and not just him getting. It's not like a DJ Khaled album where he just gets a bunch of actual rappers
assembling a bunch of rappers.
But what if he drops like a quick 8-bar verse or something? You know.
That would be cool.
I would love to hear Kawhi rap. I feel like that'd be pretty funny. But anyway, that's all we have for news. For these next few weeks, or not few weeks, I guess next week we might have a similar thing that we're doing this week and that we did last week, where like we don't have much to talk about, so I sort of came up with another like trivia game sort of thing for Aiden here. And this week I'm gonna list off a year, and Aiden has to try and guess who the number 1 pick was. And I didn't want to pick too many from like recent because I feel like those are pretty easy. But I do have some so that we can like just sort of like get the pace of the game and like what's going on here. You know what I mean?
All right.
So first question, who's the number 1 pick in 2020?
Anthony Edwards.
That is correct. Number 2, who was the number 1 overall pick in 2015?
Karl Anthony Towns.
That is correct. Next up, number 1 pick in 2006.
Ooh. I know this one. I know it was the Raptors, and I know it was a dude. Damn it, I cannot remember his name. Okay.
Can you tell me his height and position?
Yeah, he was like a power forward. Andrea Bargnani.
There you go. That is correct. What about 2002, number 1 pick?
Well, I know that 2001 was the bona fide scrub, Kwame Brown. 2002. Can you name some other players that like came out of that draft, like just some notable players? Because I'm trying to
I
get
gotta
a
look it up.
sense.
So
Like,
give me a second. I
like
don't
it's
have
just
this
got to
in
be.
front
It
of me.
can. Oh wait. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Actually, you don't need to do that. Okay, that would have been the Eddie Curry Tyson Chandler draft. Am I correct?
Doesn't look like it. No.
Oh wait.
Here's a hint. Carlos Boozer was taken in the second round.
Okay. Okay, Olawa Candy was a couple years before this. Kwame Brown was a year before this. This would have been the year before LeBron got drafted. 2 years before Dwight Howard. 2002. This was like one of those historically bad drafts that we always think about. I could swear that this
It's actually
was
not
the
a bad
Tyson
draft.
Chandler draft. It's not?
No, it's not it's not like amazing. Like it's not gonna blow you out of the water, but it's not that bad. It's not as bad as you're thinking. I don't think, because there's some very solid players that came out of it. That being said, the top 10 isn't great, but
okay, that's what I'm thinking of. The top 10. It was a bad top 10 year. Was it Marbury?
it is not. No.
Oh, Okay, if I am... Okay, here's my thinking. My thinking is, it was a draft where, like, the best player that went in the top 10 was, like, maybe, like, a 2 or 3 time All-Star.
That is incorrect. The number one pick was
okay.
the best player in the top 10. And he...
Oh! Okay. Was it Steve Francis?
Nope.
Damn. Okay,
Francis
I
was
give
in
up
the
on this
90s,
one.
wasn't he?
I thought he was like he was one of those late 90s, early 2000s drafts. I think he went like second overall, but I can't remember.
You give up?
Yeah.
Yao Ming.
God.
2002,
damn. Okay.
the top 10 was Yao Ming, Jay Williams, Mike Dunleavy, Drew Gooden, Nicolas Tatiskivili, Dewan Wagner, Nene, Chris Wilcox, Amari Stoudemire, and Caron Butler. That was the top 10.
God, that's a horrible top 10. Good lord.
Yeah, that's why I said Yao Ming was
Caron Butler, Nene,
Amari Stoudemire.
Amari Stoudemire are like the 3 most notable players outside of
11 was Jared Jeffries. 23 was Tayshaun Prince. 26 was John Salmons. 35 was Carlos Boozer. 46 was Matt Barnes. 53 was Roswell Butler, or however you say his name. 56 was Luis Scola. So, yeah.
Okay, so not a great draft.
No.
Or inside the top 10. Okay.
All right, 1998. Who was the number 1 overall pick? And I have these drafts
98.
pulled up now, so if you have any questions,
Okay.
I can answer them.
Can you give me a notable player taken in this draft so I can get kind of a feel? It doesn't need to be like top 5 or top 10. It
There's
just
a
needs to
lot
be,
of
like, a
notable
player.
players. I'm going to try to pick one that's not as notable.
Okay.
Al Harrington.
Oh, God. Okay, so this was 98.
Yep.
So I'm trying to think. Okay, so
Do you
this
want like a
was-
Hall of Fame notable player?
Hall of Fame notable. I'm just gonna say one. Was this the Paul Pierce draft?
Yes.
Okay. So Paul Pierce goes 10th to the Celtics, and then I'm trying to think of teams that the Bulls and Jazz wouldn't have played in the playoffs. So 98. Okay, I'm starting to think that it might be Tim Duncan, but I think he was 99. So
It is not Tim Duncan.
it is not okay. Or 90 he was 97, not 99. 1998.
I don't think this hint will help you very much, but I can give it to you.
Okay.
Robert Tractor Trailer was taken in the top 10.
Oh God.
So
Okay. 1998. 96 was the Iverson draft. Steve Nash draft. Jason Kidd was 94. Kevin Garnett was 95. 1998. Ugh. Was this the Olowokandi draft?
this is the Michael Olowokandi draft.
Okay.
Well
yeah,
done.
he went first overall.
Yeah, this was the. I'll read off this draft, like the notable players from this one. So Olowokandi went 1, Mike Bibby went 2, Rafe LaFrentz went 3, Anton Jameson went 4, Vince Carter went 5, Tractor Trailer went 6, Jason Williams went 7, Larry Hughes went 8, Dirk went 9, Pierce went 10, Bonzi Wells went 11.
Bonzi Wells.
Let's see. Tyronn Lue went 23. Al Harrington went 25. Nazir Muhammad went 29. Rashard Lewis went 32. Coutinho Mobley went 41. Yeah. Pretty solid draft. Next up, 1991.
1991. Oh, this was the Larry Johnson draft, I believe, but I think he went second. Was this Shaq?
No.
Shaq was 92. So Shaq was 92. Penny draft would have been 93. Chris Webber would have been 93. Gary Payton was 1990, but he didn't go first overall. 1992.
1991.
Can you give or 91? Can you give me a notable player? Doesn't need to be like a Hall of Famer, just like
Dikembe Mutombo.
ooh, okay. 1991. Okay, so Mutombo was taken. Shaq was the next year. Gary Payton was the year before that.
Oh, man. We got him.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm trying to think of who the worst teams would have been. So, the Cavs were good. The Bulls were good. The Pacers were good.
I do want to say the
Lakers
Cavs had the
would've been
11th
good.
pick, so they weren't that good.
Oh.
And the Pacers had the 13th pick, so they also weren't that good.
Oh, God. Why were none of those teams... I guess 1991 was a down year. Was it Sean Kemp?
It is not Sean Kemp.
Damn it. 1991.
Oh, you are not going to be happy.
Is it a player that I should know?
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Let me know whenever you either come up with an answer or whenever you call it, because you're not going to be happy.
Okay. I'm really racking my brain here for 1991. Okay. This is a player I should know. So that means that it's a player for one of my favorite teams? Or, like, one of my favorite players?
No, but we have talked about this before, and you know this draft.
Was this the year that Larry Johnson went second overall, or was that 1992?
I cannot answer that question.
Damn it. Because I don't know, because I always feel like Larry Johnson went first, but he never does. He always goes second overall. Because that's how history works. Good Lord. Oh my God. I think I gotta concede. You stumped me here.
It's Larry Johnson.
God damn it. Are you serious?
I told you you'd be upset about it, did I not? That's what. See, I would. If you had just asked if this was the Larry Johnson draft, I would have said yes. But you so specifically said he went second overall, and I knew that if I said no to that, then you would say he went first. So I couldn't answer it for you.
Maybe I get it confused because I think UNLV lost in the national championship that year. So I'm like, oh, they got second. Larry Johnson went second overall.
Yeah, no, he went
God,
first.
that was a really, really good one. I don't know why I am so convinced he went second overall, but I feel like we've done this before, and I'm always like, okay, well, I know Larry Johnson went second overall.
Well, that's why I knew you knew this one because we've talked about it before, and you said he went first.
God,
it's okay.
Yeah, that was a really, really good one.
Second overall was Kenny Anderson.
Oh yeah, I would not. I would not have gotten that one.
All right. This is a bit of a bounce back one. 2011.
Okay. 2011. That is John Wall went first year before. This is Kyrie Irving.
Is that your answer?
You're being awfully quiet. I know it's Kyrie Irving.
Well, I was asking, is that your answer?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, then yeah, you're right. It's Kyrie.
Okay, I felt like you were being quiet just to like make me think about it, and I was like, "Don't do this to me."
No. I just didn't. I thought you were just like throwing because you do this thing where when you're thinking, you like say players from the draft. I didn't know.
Oh yeah. No, that was yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. No.
This should be another one you get fairly easily. 1987. Okay.
Why would I get this one fairly easily?
Oh, never mind. I thought you would get this one pretty easily.
Is this Brad Daugherty?
No.
Ooh.
At least he's not taken in the first round that I can see. So
no, he was first. He was at least like top 5 one of those late 80s years. 1987. Is this the... trying to think. I'm really racking my brain here. Is this the... 1987. So...
Folks at home, I just want you to know, he does know the answer to this. I think the being on air part is really getting to him right now.
Yeah, it is. I haven't had... yeah.
This is like a pressure
test.
I haven't had much water
today either. Yeah, it is a pressure test. I am not good under pressure. I'm a terrible test taker. So, yeah, 1987. Ugh. Okay, so obviously it's not Hakeem. No, obviously it's not Patrick Ewing.
Correct.
That was 84 and 85. 86. I think 86 was Brad Daugherty because I know he was in there. Is this Danny Manning?
Hold on. 80. Yes, 86 was Brad Daugherty.
86. Okay.
This is not Danny Manning.
Ooh. 87. 87. Those like late 80s drafts always kill me because I know a couple of the 90s draft, like 96. I know really well.
You want me to give you a player?
Yeah, give me a player.
This is the Reggie Miller draft.
Okay. So, Reggie Miller would have gone like 11th, I think.
He was 11, yes.
87. Is this like a really like... No, I can't ask that. That's too... That would give it away.
People are screaming at their screens right now, Aiden.
I know they are. I know. '87. Okay. Was it this year or like was it 87, 88, or 89? Did Scottie Pippen go 5th overall to the Sonics in 87? Or was that
this
like
is this
88 or
draft.
89?
Yeah, Scottie Pippen won 5th to the Sonics in this draft.
Okay. So this is Scottie Pippen, Reggie Miller. So already 2 Hall of Famers. Very good draft. Trying to think. Is this Karl Malone?
It is not. You're gonna be angry with yourself.
I am gonna be so mad. I was. Oh God. Like the Larry Johnson ones, I think is excusable because he broke his back. So
you also you knew he was top 2 at least.
Yeah.
You have not said
I'm really...
the player yet for this one.
Okay, 1987. So it was a time in the NBA. God, I'm going back. I'm like, okay, the era. Okay.
Bro, I thought this game wouldn't be hard enough for you. I threw in some other ones that I thought would be like extra tricky.
Well, that's the thing is I know I know a lot of notable players from drafts, but I don't know, and I know like weird facts. Like I think if you ask the majority of people who Scottie Pippen got drafted by, they obviously wouldn't say the Supersonics because people just don't know about that trade.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm not great at remembering the guys who went 1st overall. So this was 1987. So we're coming off of 3 straight years where a big dude was drafted 1st overall. We got Hakeem in 84. We got Patrick Ewing in 85. Brad Daugherty in 86. And then other guys like Barkley. I don't know why I thought Malone was this draft. I know Malone's not. I know he was way earlier, like 84 or 85. So I'm thinking it's a big guy, but this was also a time when point guards got drafted really early a lot. Like it was either like most of the time it was either a point guard or like a 7-footer. 87. This was not the Danny Manning 1st overall at least.
No. Oh man. Do you think you know this one?
I think I don't. I think I should know. I mean, I know that you're gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh," but
no,
like,
you're not
I'm
gonna
really
be like, "Oh," you're gonna be like, "I hate myself."
I am. I probably will. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Shoot.
David Robinson.
God damn it! Oh my god.
I thought you. I know you like him. I thought this was gonna be like it like a snap, you know?
Yeah, the problem with David Robinson is he did 2 years in the military, so I don't really he did 2 years in the military, so his rookie year was like 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really think of him as like, and I also, when I think of the Spurs getting the 1st overall pick, I think of Tim Duncan. I don't really think of David Robinson.
That's fair. Okay.
So yeah, but that was another really good one. Okay.
2 left, and these ones I threw in here to try and trick you because I thought the game would be too easy.
So I know that one of them I should get like really easily because 87 was way too hard for me to not like immediately get like a stupid one.
1995.
95. That was the Kevin Garnett draft, but he went like 5th overall. Was this Grant Hill?
No.
8. That was 94. Okay. So this was not Grant Hill.
If this helps, big country Bryant Reeves was drafted 6th overall.
God, 6th overall picks in the late 90s or mid to late 90s were really bad. Didn't you say Tractor Trailer went like 6th overall in 98?
Yeah.
1995. Trying to think of other notable players from this draft, and I'm kind of not coming up with any because I know Jason Kidd was 94.
Oh, you want me to give you one?
Yeah.
This draft had Damon Stoudemire in it. Is that not notable enough? You want to?
I mean, it is. I had to look up a picture of Robert Tractor Trailer. He looks so good. He's dead?
Dude, he was like 600 pounds. What do you mean? You give
a
guy that eats too much more money to spend on his food, he's only going to gain weight.
I mean, his playing weight was like 300 pounds only.
Yeah, and he played for like 6 years.
God, he really did. That's depressing.
Yeah.
What did he die of?
Probably heart failure.
Oh, heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I didn't know he was dead.
He played for the Pacers, didn't he? Or was that a different guy?
No, he didn't. He actually had a decently long NBA career for a guy whose playing weight was 300 pounds. That's so insane.
And it wasn't 300 pounds of muscle.
No, it was not. He played from 98 to 2005 consistently in the NBA, and then he played overseas. It looks like a lot of like Spanish teams, I want to say, but I am honestly not sure what these languages are.
Mm-hmm.
Turkey, he played in. Puerto Rico, yeah. Okay.
We're getting distracted, Aiden. 95, come on.
Yes, we are. Okay, so this was Big Country. This was the Big Country draft.
No, this
was the Kevin Garnett draft. I am correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is this player more or less notable than Kevin Garnett?
Less.
Okay. So that makes me want to say it's like a bust.
It is not a bust.
Oh, okay.
I will say, though, he was never an all-star. He just wasn't a bust.
Ooh, okay. Was this... He was never an all-star. Was this Caron? No, Caron Butler was like way later. No, this was not. Never would not have been Caron Butler. Never. 1995. Okay, so not considered a bust, but never an all-star. So who are some other guys like that? We got Andrew Wiggins. I don't know. Do you think Wiggins is generally considered a bust? I mean, he's got 10,000
People consider him one,
points.
but he really isn't.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
I will say, again,
So
this
we
was
got
thrown in
guys-
here with the mindset of you not getting it. So,
Okay. Yeah, I think that this is a good one for me to not get. Was he like a really good like defensive player or something?
I couldn't tell you, dude. I don't know. I don't know much about this guy. He played for a while. He played for...
Okay.
Hold on, let's see. He played from the 95-96 season to the 2010-11 season.
Oh, geez.
So he played a long time. He was like just an okay player.
First overall in 1995. I don't think I'm gonna get this one.
I don't think you are either.
Who was it?
Joe Smith.
Oh, this was the dude that signed the under the table contract with the Timberwolves, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
He did play in Minnesota for a while, so that would make sense.
I'm almost positive this is who it was because it like ruined his career. Yeah. The bizarre saga of Joe Smith's illegal Minnesota Timberwolves contract. Didn't they get like 5 first-round picks vacated for that or something?
I think they just lost one.
He stayed in the NBA for 16 years, but he played for 13 teams. That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. He was really good for his first 3 years. He was a free agent in 99 after the lockout. He signed a 1-year deal with Minnesota, well below his market value, but it was to allow the team to make other moves. He had turned down an $80 million extension from the Warriors. That was so dumb. That's what it was. Is he turned down like a huge extension and then never, like the rest of his career, he never made close to $80 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Smith and the Timberwolves had an under-the-table agreement in place where Smith would sign 3 one-year deals for very little money, allowing the Timberwolves to acquire his bird rights, which would allow them to go over the salary cap to re-sign him. That's not really... I don't feel like that should be illegal. Right? Like...
I mean, I don't think it should be, but I could understand why they wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. The Timberwolves were fined $3.5 million and forfeited their first-round picks for the next 5 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's excessive.
The team's 2003 pick was eventually restored, but I don't know if like that's actually a really interesting story because I don't know if that should be like if a player wants to sign it, they shouldn't be able to do it under the table. But if like a player wants to sign with a team for cheap, and then in order for them to get his bird rights and then pay him, like I don't know why that shouldn't be allowed. Maybe that's dumb, but.
I mean, I think it's just salary manipulation. I think the NBA was probably pretty strict about that.
Yeah.
All right, last
God,
one.
5 first-round picks.
Are you ready for
crazy.
the last one? This one, I don't know if it'll be tricky for you or not, but the 1981 first pick.
Okay, 1981. Was this... This was the Isaiah Thomas draft, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, was this Ralph Sampson?
No.
Ooh. Was it Isaiah Thomas?
Yes, this is the Isaiah Thomas draft, but he was not number 1.
No, but okay. Okay, Ralph Sampson. I'm pretty sure that this was his draft. No, it was not his draft. Okay. He got taken out first overall in 1983. That's what I'm thinking. Because Houston. How did Houston get back-to-back first-round picks? That's crazy.
Because the lottery odds were different back then.
That's true. They just flipped a coin between the 2 worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
1981. Is this like a really notable player?
Not more notable than Isaiah Thomas, but he was pretty good. Like he was a all-star a few times, and I think he did end up playing with Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, they were teammates eventually.
Ooh.
I don't want to give away too much, but you know.
Yeah, no. Teammates eventually. So Isaiah Thomas was never not a Piston, I believe, right?
I don't believe he was.
I feel like he played his whole career as a Piston. So notable players from those Piston teams would have been guys like Joe Dumars. It would have been Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman. And then there was one other guy, like a really big dude. I forget his name, but I think that's the guy.
Sorry, that's not an acceptable answer.
No, I know it's not. Can I look up a roster from the I think it would have been the 1989 championship team to just get the guy's name in my head to see if that's who it is?
Sure.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure it's this guy. Was it Daryl Dawkins?
No.
Ooh. Oh, Rick Mahorn is the guy I'm thinking of. Was it him?
No.
Ooh. Was it Adrian Dantley? That's the only other guy
No.
on those teams that I could think that would have been a first overall pick.
Here, let me check if he was on the... What year did you look up? I'll see if he was on the roster then.
I looked up 1989.
The 89 to
I already
90.
closed out of it though.
Okay. Then never mind.
1989 Pistons. I just looked that up.
Now this is... I don't want to give it away. He was... Do you want me to tell you? Like, not who it is, but like... Do you want me to say like when he joined the Pistons?
Yeah, do that.
He was traded there mid-season between in the 88-89 season.
Ooh. So was he on that 1989 team?
I think yeah, he had to have been. Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to get this one. Who was it?
It was Mark Aguirre.
Oh! Okay.
Yeah, old Mark.
Old Marky. That was a really good one. That was a fun game.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that.
So yeah, that's all the ones I got. So
yeah, that was really good.
why thank you. I appreciate that. You know, that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So I think that's all we got. You got anything else to add?
No, that's all I got.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to. Comment, tell us why we're dumb, why Aiden's dumb for missing David Robinson if you want to.
Yes.
Say why I'm dumb for picking David Robinson. You could throw that in there if you wanted to. You got...
why I'm dumb for missing Joe Smith.
Yeah, a notable player, Joe Smith.
Yes.
And we got our personal channels will be in the description. Although I don't think either of us have uploaded in a little while, actually.
No, I have not.
But yeah, so
I'm way more active on TikTok.
yeah, so check out his TikTok. I think that's also actually in the description now.
Yes.
So check that out if you want to. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah, bye.